Hello everyone, my name is Kipty and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. Now where we left off, we have been given a deed to a hotel by an old man. We're still a bit skeptical of it, but we are now inside the hotel and we need to discuss, or decide even, if we're going to look at the desk or check the safe. I believe there's going to be only one option for this, so I'm just going to say, let's look at the desk, see what's there. On the desk is a ledger. Like everything else in the hotel, its pages are yellow and wrinkly, but it's still readable. Also, as a reminder, I will be playing this game up until the point where there is nudity. This is the NSFW version. So, I'll keep playing this game until we see something that YouTube is not happy about. But with that said, let's just carry on. It contains a list of guests, their respective rooms, checked in and checked out dates, signatures and so on. The last guest arrived back in 1944. I don't know when this game is set. To be more precise, someone attempted to check in on that date, but was interrupted in the process. All the following pages in the letter are blank. You find a second leather-bound letter as well. This one has staff written on it in flaking gold paint. It lists all the employees in the hotel during 1944, their country of origin, role, and a few have a star scribbled beside their name. This place employed quite a number of people, more than 50 in fact. Damn, that is a lot of people. You see, it doesn't seem to be anything else you can deduce from this ledger. Okay, we can check the safe. So do we have? Oh, whoops. You prepare yourself to try and crack the password, except it's already unlocked, albeit rusty. Okay. Oh, passports. From, I'm gonna say Brazil, USSR, I don't know the other two. Japan? Korea? I don't know. There's only a stack of booklets inside it. 4 passports, all from different countries. Unsurprisingly, they are all expired. There doesn't seem to be anything special about them. But it's strange that someone would keep passports in an office like this. You take a moment to go over the ledger and passports together. A cursory glance reveals a pattern. The passports are from the 4 employees with their stars beside their names. You take them with you and leave the ledger on the table. Okay, so we've got passports for some reason. You return to the reception and continue looking around. Up ahead is a tall spiral staircase going both up and down. There are multiple paths branching out from the lobby. You take one of the hallways leading down to the bedrooms and find all the doors are locked. Oh god. Okay, once out the lobby, the bedroom's rotting walls are consumed by time. Walking into them disturbed the fine mist of stagnate spores and dust, which was turned into a pattern of diamonds by the sun shining through the windows. Each bedroom was equipped with at least one king-sized bed. The springs were busted more often than not, and the fabric yellowed. But not even such desolation could hide the past glory of this place. You return back to the hallway, which seems to stretch forever forward. From outside the hotel looked big, but not nearly sprawling enough to have a ground floor with over 100 bedrooms. Damn, that's a lot. No matter how many twists and turns you took, the hallway never wrapped back into itself. Backtracking all the way back to the lobby was the only option. The spiral staircase seemed much more inviting than wandering the seemingly endless hallways. Oh, good God. Over the staircase, all the way up, there was a skylight draping the sun's warmth over your shoulders. It was a lighthouse, guiding travellers to this once majestic hotel. The way down was as ominous as the skylight was graceful. The marble handrails were lined with burnt-out lamps. It was impossible to see much of the darkness down below. The second floor was mostly bedrooms again. But here, the outer hallways were lined with sprawling windows showing a courtyard up behind the hotel, close to the cliff's edge. Oh damn. It was a sight to behold. While the hotel was consumed by time, The garden outside had flourished. It was a field brimming with white flowers swaying in its wretched desert sand. Fucking hell. At the centre was a statue of a man and a dog. The flowers rose up to the man's knees, and only the top of the dog's head could be seen. The man's hand was outstretched, as if beckoning the flowers to go taller and for people to approach. The guard had seen a more inviting adventure. He decided to back down the. He had descended back down the marble staircase, brimming with clarity, and felt like a cloak or a hug was draped over your back. You took the hallway leading further towards the hotel's back, and a single turn to the right brought you to a vaster room. Oh wow, it's like a concert hall or something. Right beside its entrance was a bar to the left, tables, couches, and reclining chairs. Further left, there was a tall window of stained glass, like the ones in the cathedral. And now a glass door beside this window was the garden. Okay, so it just leaves, but okay. The wind blowing through this garden sent out a long, continuous whistle. From this low angle, the statue seemed like a king, tall yet humble, beckoning his dear subjects. The flowers swayed back and forth in the singing wind, and the dog's head was barely visible above him. His ears were perked up, and his tongue lolled out from his grinning mouth. Behind the statue, beyond the courtyard, was a railing overlooking the drop into the valley below. As you walked around the statue, you noticed out of the corner of your eye that the dog seemed to have turned its head to follow you. Don't. You look back. The dog statue hasn't budged, but indeed it was gazing right at you. You parted the flowers and walked up to it, and that's when you noticed the dog had 3 heads. One staring forward, one looking off to the other side. All 3 of them exuded warmth. You petted one of his heads, and noticed how worn the marble was. People had been petting him for a very long time. Then you made your way to the cliff's edge. Once more, you were greeted by the valley. Straight down, far below, you could see the statue-lined cave exit. You could only wonder how vibrant this land must have been years ago. Ages ago, same thing, when the valley's river still flowed. And we're back in here. You go back inside, into the fast room. It seems dark but intimate, now that your eyesight is used to the exterior's brightness. You can still notice the whistling coming from outside. You take a seat at the bar. This newfound darkness is smooth, soft as velvet. It's like being in a candlelit lounge. Behind the counter, the bottles of fine spirits are still half filled. They glimmer in exquisite brown, red, and blues. You close your eyes and imagine how this place was decades ago. The whistling shifts again. It turns into the hum of human life, footsteps and breathing, chairs being dragged, cutlery and plates clinking, laughter, whispers, people greeting each other from across different tables. People dressed so nicely, a barman in front of you, serving the finest drinks you can imagine. He knows your name and how you like it. Whether you are tired or brimming with life, he lends you an attentive ear. You open your eyes. You are back in the abandoned hotel, majestic and destroyed. You can understand why the old man wished to pass it on to someone who would care for it. You tap your jacket's breast pocket, making sure the crumpled parchment is still there. Even the yellow-stained paper is warm now. Ugh. You stand up and walk out. As you do so, you notice a large purple stain on the floor behind the counter, and the glass shard of what used to be a wine bottle. You proceed further into the hotel. There's a lot to see still. All the way down the hallway, a set of sliding glass doors beckon you, but from afar, the difference is clear. The wallpaper is ripped, and one of the doors is cracked. You step on something hard, a revolver bullet. Oh, great. You push... Okay, the music has changed. That's good. You push the door to the side and greeted by an even more chaotic sight. It's the hotel's restaurant. The tables are overturned, and both chairs and plates lay broken on the floor. There's a darkened stain in the middle of the room, which trails into the kitchen. It leads you to the pantry and the massive iron door of a cold room, which is locked from outside and boarded up. Have I accidentally found a NSFW horror game? All around the kitchen things were spewed about. There's even a pan on the stove with what must be fossilized food, and the sink is filled with dirty dishes. On the nearby counter is a revolver covered in thick dust, and you think back to the bullet on the hallway and the stain on the restaurant floor. The old man wasn't kidding when he said he wasn't a good person. You check your phone, perhaps you need to call the police or a morgue, but there's no signal out here. Hopefully that was just me opening the door. You breathe in, preparing yourself for a terrible sight. The rusted door fights against your will, but stands no chance. Darkness pours out. Oh God. The stench strikes first. It's a stagnant smell of blood and rot. It clings to your nose and mouth like a bitter oil. Before your eyes can adjust to the darkness, a second wave of stench hits. It's like a farm too. The scent of dusty fur, even in hay, but cooped up in a hot, humid room for decades. And last but not least, stale shit and piss. This place has it all. The stench of 1,000 different deaths. The light pouring into the cold room shines on the floor in front of the doorway. Empty cans of soup and glass of jam are spewed over the trail of old blood. Whoever was locked in here didn't die quickly. The cold room extends into absolute darkness, a hallway in it and of itself. You proceed, scraping your shoes on the floor so you don't trip over this refuse. The entire floor is covered with discarded glass and cans. Whatever scraps were left in them had long rotted, dried and crumbled into dust. Both your footsteps and breathing echo. The overbearing humidity drapes across your back, and the breathing becomes irritated. The stench is stronger. Your sight finally adapts to the dark, and what must be the cold room's far wall. You notice the faintest glimmer. Oh, hi! Wherever it is, it slouched on the floor, motionless, as if it died where it stood after who knows how long locked here. A side blue glimmer, however, flickers where its left eye ought to be. What do you do? I'm going to save and examine the corpse. Your eyesight is used to the dark now. The distant pillar of light bleeding from the doorway is enough to avoid tripping on the discarded glass. You crouch in front of the thing. It has a bull's head. You look around its neck, searching for a zipper or the edge of a mask, but there's none. It's covered in fur, aside for the patches of sticky, exposed skin. It has hooves instead of feet. Its horns can easily gore a person. Yeah, this is a Minotaur, definite. Half of its skull is exposed. The bone still has a smattering of blood dust near the remaining flesh. Its left eye socket is empty, but something shines inside it, a blue ember. The fur is coarse and unkempt, but can't hide how deathly thin this creature was. It died from starvation, not from whatever destroyed its face. That's enough. You stand up and turn to leave. As you do so, the rustling clothes and echoing footsteps break the curtain of silence. That's when you hear it, breathing as faint as a moth's wings flapping. You look back to the corpse. The blue flame flickers at you. Its chest expands and contracts. You take a step forward and the spot follows you like an eye. What do you do? Ooh, I think I'm gonna call out. You set your gaze on the thing, trying to read its torn off face. Can you understand me? It barely reacts to your voice at first. Your words slink to it and crawled into its head, digged away into its mind, and then twists until it wakes up. Like a butterfly coming out of his long sleep, the thing's remaining eye shifts back to life. It nods at you. Oh God. Who are you? Well, that's where we end it. It's blurred out for you, but yeah, I can see penis. But I mean, tell you what, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna save. I might. You know what? Fuck it. I'll carry on. I can hide it. No, I said I'll give it. I'll stop playing. There's nudity, so I guess thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share my videos, help me a lot. If you want me to continue, let me know. It'll definitely be the NSFW, because fuck YouTube and what they're doing. But I'm still uploading videos, so I can't say too much. Yeah, I mean, the story is interesting anyway, but I don't know, I kind of want to continue, but I said I'll stop if there's nudity. So, there you go. But anyway, I'm going to leave it so I can get off this screen. So, thank you for watching. I've been Kip T. Until next time, see you later.